Hey folks, everything new under the sun. What you're looking at is the Chinese calendar. Now I have this spun around because in the top left corner you can see the year 2024. And the Chinese calendar is split into 12 periods, of course. And each year or period is a 12-year calendar. Each year is designated with an animal. And, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, pig, rat, ox, tiger, rabbit. And what is this year, 2024? Well, it's the year of the dragon. Now, that in and of itself isn't necessarily interesting, but consider that on the timeline of the return of the Lord, I believe it could be that the 7-year period described in Daniel possibly starts at the end of this year, and we get into the four horsemen of the apocalypse in earnest, heading up until the year 2028, which I think is the end of 6,000 years of man. So again, back to the rabbit, and what are rabbits? Well, they're fast, right? So we maybe we can consider like the birth pains, speeding into this year of the dragon, and hasn't it been? The last number of years have been very, very fast. So 2024, the year of the dragon. Here's another look at it. This is the regular orientation of it. You see in the bottom right-hand corner the dragon there. And then the dragon goes to the snake. You can see on the bottom the snake. Let me go to this one here. 2024. 2025 is the snake. So, of course, the dragon, Satan, and then the snake. Could that be the Antichrist? And then the horse. Is that, akin to the four horsemen of the apocalypse? I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. I'm not saying that's likely at all. But I think there's interesting animals there. I think we'll find out soon enough what they mean. Let's take a look at a couple of interesting things. Let's go to this here. And I want to show you this here. And again, just kind of looking at this, kind of speculating at, what this might be here. This is ChineseNewYear.net. Now it says the Chinese New Year 2024 falls on Saturday, February 10th, 2024. So in the past, they had their Chinese New Year. Chinese New Year marks the transition between the Zodiac signs. 2024 is the year of the dragon. 2023 is the year of the rabbit. So what is the year of the dragon? Well, 2024 is the year of the dragon. The dragon is the fifth animal in the 12-year cycle of the Chinese Zodiac signs, coming after the rabbit and before the snake. And you can think about the biblical symbolism there, and I'm sure there's a lot more than I'm thinking of. But you let me know in the comments what you think. Recent years of the dragon include 2024, this year, 2012, the year 2000, 1988, 1976, 1964, and 1952. 2012 is an interesting year. Isn't that the year that the Mayans thought the world was going to end? And of course, the year 2000, everybody thought the world was going to end. And isn't 1988 88 Reasons for the Lord's Return in 88 or something like that? And there may be other significant things. The next dragon year then is 2036. So that's interesting for what it is. But look at this. The dragon is associated with an earthly branch symbol. Now, what do we know biblically about earthly branches? Well, we know there is a scripture about the fig tree and the last days. And what does that speak about? Well, now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. So we have this parable of the fig tree, speaking of a branch when it's tender. And of course, we know or at least we believe, that this refers to Israel as a nation. They became a nation in 1948. But this year of the dragon seems to speak to that as well, and could possibly be the beginning of the 7-year period. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just looking at the things happening and putting it together. So this is background on the Chinese calendar. The traditional Chinese calendar, agricultural calendar, is a lunisolar calendar. So it's based on the moon, And Israel also, their calendar is also based on the moon, the cycles of the moon. Whereas for the West, we count our years and our months on, the sun. So it says, combining the solar, lunar, and other cycles for various social and religious purposes. More recently, China and Chinese communities uh, uh, in Chinese and Chinese communities, the Gregorian calendar has been adopted in various ways. So they're losing a bit of that history of the Chinese calendar. But there you go. So you can go read about it on Wikipedia, if you will, if you'd like. But here is some comments about the earthly branches. The heavenly stems and earthly branches are ancient China's systems of keeping time. Does the Bible use branches in a way of giving you indication about timing? Well, yeah, that's what Matthew 24:32 to 33 is about, the fig tree, parables of the fig tree and the branch being tender. So the Chinese use the same thing. Originally based on observations in the sky, these two counting systems later became influential in many aspects of daily life in China. Um, the two systems are known for combining to designate years with a 60-year cycle in the traditional Chinese calendar. So that's interesting about that. And that's something I don't know. I didn't know. So if there's more significance to the stems and the earthly branches, you tell me in the comments. Is there a relation to the fig tree, the parable of the fig tree, the multiple fulfillments or significances of that? There very well could be. But as we look at this, again, if the 7-year period starts and the dragon, starts doing his thing, implements and possesses the one world leader and the Antichrist system, maybe starting in the end of 2024, maybe there is some interesting things we can make of this from the Chinese calendar, which is one of the most ancient civilizations we have on Earth currently. And they have a huge long history going all the way back to Noah and the flood. And even prior to that, there's some very interesting legends that the Chinese have about the flood of Noah. So a very ancient civilization with which ancient knowledge of moon cycles and calendars and histories there. So they probably know some things that we don't know. They may even have some inkling of Bible prophecy and the story of Jesus Christ and the history of the 6,000 years of man. All the cultures of the earth have a lot of those oral stories passed down from generation to generation, namely the flood of Noah. They tell it in their own way, but they all have that history in their past. And China and Chinese culture is one of those cultures that does have that oral history and that recognition of a great flood that occurred and a family on a boat that got through it. So could there be some interesting timelines to some of this? Could very well be. I'll just put it out there. You guys let me know what you think. And I'll leave it there, guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.